2 News begins right now with breaking news. A pair of arrests in Tulsa's quadruple murder. I'm Russ McCaskey.
I'm Karen Larson. Just in the last hour, Tulsa police announced a major break in the case.
Homicide detectives named Cedric Poor and James Poor as suspects in the brutal execution-style murders of 4 women last month. The mugshot of James is from a prior arrest.
We have team coverage for you tonight. Reporter Liz Bryant is at the apartment complex where the 4 killings happened.
But we first go to Sarah Goldenberg. She's downtown live with more on the arrest. Sarah?
Karen and Russ, we're told the Poor brothers will each likely face 4 counts of first-degree murder. Now, police are not releasing a motive. They're also not releasing many details as the investigation continues. It's been almost exactly 1 month since police found Misty Nunley, Rebecca Powell, Katie Melchor, and Julie Jackson shot to death inside of an apartment at Fairmont Terrace. Today, police told us the Poor brothers are suspected of their murders. Police say Cedric Poor was in jail facing other charges the day of the murder. Police picked up James today. They would not elaborate on what exactly happened inside of the apartment. Police say this was not a gang-related crime, but they didn't give us a clear answer when we asked if drugs are involved. We still don't know if all 4 victims were specifically targeted. Police tell us the Poor brothers lived at Fairmont Terrace apartments. They won't rule out the possibility of more suspects being involved.
You know, the problem we have here is this all occurred behind closed doors. The suspects very likely went from one apartment to another in the same building, or possibly did. At the very least, there was nothing to indicate to us that anything was going on.
Following the murders, police arrested 2 other men they said could be connected to the case. Police brought Joseph Tillman and Freddie Hayes in for questioning. Tillman is out of jail, but Hayes is still behind bars facing drug and weapon charges. Police would not comment on them today. Now, police do expect to file charges with the district attorney tomorrow. Live in downtown Tulsa, Sarah Goldenberg, 2 News works for you.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, word of the arrest stunned the residents of the apartment complex where the murders happened.
2 News reporter Liz Bryant is live at Fairmont Terrace with what people there are saying. Liz?
Good evening, Russ and Karen. This is the apartment where all 4 women were killed. And in the last 30 minutes, a lot of neighbors are walking by me. And I stopped to break this news to them, and their jaws just dropped. They say they're shocked and relieved at the same time. They've been living in fear ever since that startling Monday. They are glad that this apartment complex has hyped up security, but they're still not going outside after dark.
Oh, it's a relief. I got a 4-year-old, and now I feel more comfortable coming outside now.
Just kind of checking out who comes in and out when I am here, just in case.
I mean, we had a lot of people that moved out because of that, what happened. I mean, that day they moved out.
Julie Jackson was one of the women killed. I called her daughter to break the news, and she began immediately crying, saying she dropped to her knees. Julie's daughter wasn't sure this day would ever come and has a message for the men police arrested today.
Understand what they have done to our families, and I hope they get what they deserve.
And coming up tonight at 6, so you'll hear more from neighbors as this breaking news begins to spread at this Fairmont apartment complex. For now, live in South Tulsa, I'm Liz Bryant. 2 News works for you.
All right, Liz, thanks. Well, a public safety group formed after the killings will present their recommendations to the mayor tomorrow.
They've been looking for ways to improve communication between citizens and local authorities. Among the topics addressed at their public meetings, outdated software, capital improvements, and community involvement. We will have continuing coverage of today's quadruple murder arrest for you coming up tonight at 6 and 10. Right now, another 2 News crime alert for you. For the 2nd time in a week, burglars target a South Tulsa daycare center.
It's a crime police say can happen anywhere. 2 News anchor Brianne Palmerini is live to explain how it's also easy to prevent. Brianne?
Well, Russ, twice a day, this kinder care is very busy. Right about now, we've seen lots of cars come through here as parents pick up their kids after work and in the early mornings. Now, police say crooks are taking advantage of that busyness and targeting purses and cars.
You wouldn't think it would happen right there, especially with the amount of traffic going through there. But these people are pretty gutsy, I guess.
Haley Reese is a parent and a teacher here at this daycare. She's shocked to hear thieves stole 2 mothers' purses in minutes. She says both didn't lock their cars when they brought their children in for the day.
You're trying to hurry up and drop your child off and hurry and get to work in that little window of time. you forget.
And because it's that easy, police say crooks target places like daycares, and it's not a new trend.
It happens all the time, every year.
This year, victims report 6 different break-ins at daycares.
Only in one did they break any glass at all. Most of the time they just open up the door. Sometimes the doors are open.
Officer Bennett says that's good news because this crime is very preventable. Always lock your car and hide your valuables.
These guys don't break into every car that comes up there. They only break into the cars that they can readily see the items.
According to Haley, the crooks who stole the purses at this KinderCare did some serious damage.
Apparently, the people run straight to Walmart and get gift cards. The first one, they got $1,200 worth of gift cards on her corporate card.
Which is why Haley and others are taking note.
I make sure I lock it. I make sure it honks at me.
Well, the most recent break-in actually happened here this morning when it was busy. Now, police say they're working to warn other daycares in town about the possibility. Live in South Tulsa, Brianne Palmerini, 2 News works for you.
Thanks, Brianne. Now, the U.S. Postal Service plans to stop delivering mail on Saturdays.
The Postmaster General announced today that Saturday mail service will end in August. The agency will continue to deliver packages on Saturday, just not letters and other mail. That move is expected to save the struggling Postal Service about $2 billion a year.
Now, your 2 Works for You first forecast.
Big story in weather today is the rain. Scattered showers across parts of southeast Oklahoma, lifting up to the east northeast. Here's a close-up view. That's Adair County. The showers are located between Watts and Barron, working its way into western parts of Arkansas. So you might say, that's it? I thought there was going to be more rain. There will be more rain. That's still developing out to our northwest. That moves in later tonight. Temperatures, if you're stepping out this evening, very, very warm. Coming up, we'll talk about the chances for rain. Guys, I'm even going to mention the word snow on the 7-day forecast.
How about that? All right, Dan, thanks. Well, a very big day for high school seniors across the state. It's National Signing Day.
2 News Sports Director Big Al Jerkins joins us now with more on that. Al?
Well, for hundreds of Oklahoma seniors, athletics has become an avenue on the way to a college education, and today was the day high schools across the state held assemblies for not just football players, but athletes of all sports. It started at 8 a.m. this morning, and in some regards, still going on as we speak. Broken Arrow's Frankie Davis chose to stay close to home to play at Tulsa.
I really liked that their education, the future in education was a big deal. And my parents really, that's what they were really kind of not nagging about, but they really wanted me to stay close to home.
And in all, 18 Oklahoma high school seniors have signed to play Division I football in Oklahoma. Coming up at 6, a closer look at how OU, OSU, and TU fared in the recruiting wars. Al Jerkins, 2 News, works for you Sports.
Thank you, Al. Just 1 year away.
What Russian officials have to say about the most expensive Olympic Games in history.
And dueling debate, the concerns over arming teachers to protect Oklahoma students.
New information now about injured skier Lindsey Vaughn.
We've learned the Olympic medal winner will head home next week for surgery on her leg. Vaughn broke a bone and tore knee ligaments in this crash. It happened yesterday at the World Ski Championships in Austria. The U.S. ski team doctor says Vaughn is doing well and is in good spirits.
Well, today marks the one-year countdown to the start of competition at the 2014 Winter Olympics. The Russian city of Sochi is getting a full facelift, a transformation that will cost more than $50 billion. It is the most expensive Olympics ever. The head of the International Olympic Committee defended the rising cost of the Games, saying that a lot of the money goes towards long-term infrastructure.
This tunnel and the train and the roads are not meant for 2 weeks of competition. They are meant for generations to last.
Well, the Russian government is paying for at least half of the cost of the event. Arming teachers.
The dueling debates over protecting Oklahoma students and the biggest concern if one proposal becomes law.
We're still in a major drought and the rain chances are on the way for Green Country. I'll let you know when to expect the showers coming up in Works For You weather.
Here at home, a House panel approves a proposal to allow Oklahoma teachers to bring guns into school.
The bill now heads to the full House for a vote, but 2 News anchor Justin Wilfon found some teachers are already preparing to defend their students.
Under a dark gray sky, Lainey Jackson prepares for the possibility of even darker times should a gunman ever come into her school.
I have it thought out in my head, you know what I'm going to do if that person comes through the door.
So she's getting ready. The Warner Public Schools secretary, along with about 30 teachers from the district, are taking firearms training at the U.S. Shooting Academy, a class the academy started in direct response to the tragedy at Sandy Hook.
The easiest way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good person with a gun.
During class last week,
Joe Bill Lyerly agrees. The teacher and athletic director at Kiefer High School says the images of Sandy Hook are still fresh in his mind.
Oh, I was just devastated. But when I think about the helplessness of that age of a child in particular, it's not an easy thing to think about.
Lyerly already possesses a concealed carry license, and while he doesn't relish the thought of bringing a gun into the classroom, he now considers it necessary.
To say that we're going to sit here and protect our students without a gun or some type of a weapon It's ludicrous.
Right now, Oklahoma law prevents teachers from carrying guns into schools. Tulsa Superintendent Dr. Keith Ballard wants to keep it that way.
Their job is to teach, not to carry a gun.
And he believes Tulsa teachers agree with him. Dr. Ballard tells me not a single teacher in Tulsa has told him they want to be armed.
This isn't the Wild West.
A duel is brewing at the state capitol. Republican State Representative Mark McCullough is proposing a bill this legislative session that would allow teachers and other school staff to carry guns in the classroom.
If someone is intent on committing a violent act, there is only one way to respond with that, and that is with like force.
Under his plan, teachers who volunteer would go through what's called cleat training.
Good grip on this gun.
The same training police officers get, but Ballard isn't buying it.
My reaction to the proposal, Justin, is that it's a knee-jerk reaction. Teachers, myself, we can't get that kind of training. And think how expensive it would be and how time-consuming it would be.
McCullough admits arming guards at every school may be a better option, but says that may also cost too much.
Will we be able to afford keeping resource officers at all of our campuses going forward? That's a real question.
And that raises other questions as well. Both Columbine High School and Virginia Tech had armed personnel on campus, and in both cases, they could do little to stop the violence.
I think a lot of it is are the facts and circumstances of those shootings. You know, where were they? Where were they located in relation to the circumstance?
Armed guards already patrol some Tulsa schools, and that's something Dr. Ballard supports. But he also believes that armed teachers mean it's only a matter of time before someone gets shot accidentally.
There will be mishaps that will happen.
There are always chances. There are always things that could happen that are not foreseen or would be an opposite of what you intend. But what we're talking about is a risk analysis.
If the bill becomes law, some teachers say they'll be ready, just in case the next crazed gunman decides to visit their school. Justin Wilfon, 2 News works for you.
Ballard says Tulsa schools are looking for other ways to improve security, like automatic locking systems on all school doors. It's something that's only in place in some of the schools right now. He says they also get security support from Tulsa police and conduct drills with students often.
2 Works for You weather, certified most accurate.
Here's a time lapse and watch how the clouds rapidly move from south to north in through the Collinsville area. In fact, all through Green Country, we've seen a lot more clouds in the afternoon than what we saw in the evening, and those clouds will be around for this evening. On Viper 2, there's Collinsville, just north of Owasso, and take a look at the scattered showers across eastern Oklahoma. They're not going to be around much longer. They haven't produced a lot of rain. They'll be out of here for this evening. So what's the deal with the rain chances being so high? It's energy that's out to our west, and that will be moving in overnight tonight and into tomorrow, increasing our chances for rain. We've got the moisture out ahead of it, and that's been the lacking ingredient over the last several systems that have come through our area. February, a trace of rain. That's it. For the year, we've picked up 1.5 inches, and now we're running almost half an inch below the average for this time of year. So we're very dry, but it's not just this year. It's 2012 and even 2011 where our rainfall has been below average. You know, even with the cloud cover still in the 60s, Bartlesville at 63 degrees, our temperature in Coffeyville coming in with 64, and those winds are from the southeast, and that's pulling up that moisture. It's a little bit more humid out there this afternoon. Turned out to be windy this afternoon with those southeast winds, and those winds are pulling up that juice out ahead of that. True measure of how much moisture is in the air is the dew point values. Dew point values in the 40s, even the 50s out to our west. So a little bit more soupy, and that means for us an increasing chance of seeing some rain moving in. You can see those clouds, and again, that little clipper in southeast Oklahoma moving out, but the main system I'm watching moves in during the overnight hours, and for Thursday still that fairly high chance of seeing some rain. Wouldn't that be nice? Here's the futurecast 11 o'clock, the rain still out to our west, but it's closer towards I-35. Let's step you through the overnight and the early morning hours. Now we're at 7 a.m. on Thursday. Some scattered showers with the bulk of the heaviest rainfall still out to the west of Tulsa, but between 7 o'clock and noon, that rain begins to move closer towards the Tulsa area. So rain, a few embedded thunderstorms. I don't expect a lot of severe weather, but 1 or 2 elevated thunderstorms not out of the question. That's at 2 o'clock, so the rain chance is 70 to 80%. It's not going to rain all day long. Even by 5 o'clock, the rain moves out of Tulsa, but southern and southeastern Oklahoma, again, a little bit more ripe with more moisture in place, and that rain will take till 7, 8 o'clock in the evening before it finally clears out. Friday is going to be a sunny day and not a lot of cool air behind this system. Temperatures drop back into the mid-50s, so even behind the front in winter, it's still going to be above the average. Overnight temperatures will be held up because of the clouds and the moisture. We start the day with temperatures in the 40s, and again, scattered showers. Find that umbrella. It's been a while, but you'll need that. Temperatures in the afternoon in the 50s and 60s, then falling behind that front, so warmer in the southeast because it'll take a little longer for that front to make Poto, a little cooler up to our north and northwest. We're the ones that got that expanded forecast that kind of breaks down the weekend. Here's what I'm talking about. When you see this on the forecast, you might think, well, it's going to rain all weekend long. It's not. As you get into Saturday, rain starts to develop it, but Saturday morning looks dry for the garage sale or getting out and about. Saturday evening is when we have our best chance of seeing some rainfall, and then on Sunday, it doesn't rain all day long either. Some scattered showers, but mainly in the morning. By the afternoon, those showers move out. So again, a little bit more information than what you're going to get anywhere else about the weather when you look at the weekend forecast. And guys, here's what I'm looking at for next week. Tuesday and Wednesday, it's rain, but Tuesday night, our temperature drops down to 29. It'll be close enough to see a little bit of slight snow. It's a long way off, but that's what we're going to be looking at. That low chance of seeing some snow in here for Tuesday night, but then by Wednesday, if there's any moisture left, it changes back over to rain. So we'll be watching that rather closely. The good news is we've got rain in the forecast for tomorrow.
So winter has been missing, but it may make an appearance next week.
You see a little bit of snow, still a long way off.
All right, thank you, Dan. We'll take it. Have a complaint about a company, but you really feel like no one's listening?
Donna Donnelly wanted to know how she could get a TV provider to hear her complain about a missing payment that was causing late fees and credit issues. Consumer advocates recommend some specific ideas. Watch our special report, How to Complain and Get Results, tonight at 10 in segment 2. Well, staying safe at checkout.
The kinds of payment cards that can keep you from becoming a fraud victim. More of the day's top stories online right now at our website. Among them, the arrest of this man and woman. The weapon police say they used to rob a Tulsa convenience store just a click away at KJRH.com. The best cards to protect people from fraud.
2 News problem solver Michelle Lowry shows us the safest cards to use at checkout.
Credit cards offer the best protection from fraud, according to a new study by CardHub.com. While debit and prepaid cards do carry some protections, your money is gone as soon as the transaction goes through. You can dispute a fraudulent transaction on your credit card and not be out the money while the companies work out the problems. Keep a close eye on your credit card and bank accounts and report incorrect charges immediately. If you have the option when buying with a debit card, experts say always sign for the transaction rather than using your PIN. Signing for a purchase carries higher protection. Michelle Lowry, 2 News works for you.
Michelle, thanks. Now to put us to work for you, just visit our website, go to KJRH.com and click on the Problem Solvers tab.
I think we're getting excited about the chance of rain, Dan.
Rain chances going up for tomorrow. Take a look. We'll be watching the rain. It'll move in from the northwest. Your better chance of rain comes in about midday, then working its way into southern and southeastern Oklahoma. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast for tomorrow. The rain chances now at 80%. Will be dry on Friday. Another chance of rain moving in Saturday night into Sunday, and another shot at rain coming in late Tuesday into Wednesday. Temperature-wise, we're all over the place. But even behind a front, it's wild. We'll still be 60 degrees tomorrow.
Crazy. Meantime, a lot of people crossing their fingers we get some rain.
Let's hope we get some soakers.
All right. We'll see you back here at 6.